the guys on the balcony will yell, tits out for the boys, tits out for the boys, and then girls on, like, opposite balconies will just flash them with their tits. And then the girls yell, dicks out for the chicks. Dicks out for the chicks. And then the boys pull their pants down and just flash the girls with their penises. Because it's, you know, it's 20... I guess this was 2006. There's gender equality. Please. I've heard tales of schoolies, okay? I know what the Australian youth were doing in that age bracket. I know what they were doing back then, and that was like 2006. That was before Harambe came around. That was 10 years before Harambe. I don't know if there's any Australians here in chats. Any Australians here who went to schoolies? Hands up. If you don't know what schoolies is, I think it's spring break, but Australian. I think for the Americans. I guess if you went to spring break then. Did they... Did you guys go to spring break? You went in 2011 and it was something else. You skipped it. I think it's probably better to skip it, to be honest. You'd be playing map games instead. Yeah, schoolies is when you finish high school. What is spring break? Is that when you finish school and you're going to university in America? I don't think I know what spring break is. What is spring break? Anyway, in Australia, at schoolies, this is the week-long holiday. It's just a break in spring. Oh, I thought it was something to do with universities. It's the week off after the first quarter. Like the first semester. People party hard. Yeah, that's my association with it. Okay, so spring break and schoolies aren't really the same thing. Anyway, schoolies is like you finished high school, you're about to go to university. So there's like a thing at the end of the school year called schoolies, in which basically every high school graduate goes to one place in Australia called the Gold Coast. And so like 300,000 high schoolers who are at varying degrees of 17 or 18 years old all congregate on the Gold Coast, and then they just drink fuck tons of alcohol underage, somewhat illegally, but you know, they probably also do drugs and all sorts. I didn't do this because I finished school overseas and then came here. I have heard tales. One of my friends split his head open. Well, not one of my friends. One of the people that they went to school with. He slipped on a used condom on the floor and split his head open because someone had just used a condom and then thrown it on the floor, and then he was just walking on. This is just a street in like on the like one of the busy streets at schoolies. He just walked on it, slipped, cracked his head open. What an absolutely insane thing to have happen, right? And so there's all sorts of stuff at schoolies where it's just like, what? I've heard stories of just like people being on balconies and like, I think it's like the guys on the balcony will yell, tits out for the boys, tits out for the boys, and then girls on like opposite balconies will just flash them with their tits. And then the girls yell, dicks out for the chicks. Dicks out for the chicks. And then the boys pull their pants down and just flash the girls with their penises. Because it's, you know, it's 20... I guess this was 2006. There's gender equality. So yeah, I never indulged. I wasn't in the country. I couldn't have indulged because that would have been late 2005, I think. That would have been late 2005. I guess actually it was so because it was the year before, and then my friends who I met at university was 2006. So yeah. I never got to go. I don't think I want to go. So yes, there's a little bit of willying, I guess. That's a willy raid, I guess. Pendant Clerk, thank you very much for 8 months of support. Yeah. Also, they're like 17 or 18. Like, isn't that like... first of all, I think it is a crime. I think that's public indecency. But also, they might be underage as well. It's just like 17-year-old kids just pulling their pants down and flashing their penis at each other. It's like, concerning. Doesn't seem like an equivalent exchange. I mean, flashing your tits as well. No, not 17. Also, someone said, I'm turning 34. Can you wish me a happy birthday? Happy birthday. I hope you have a wonderful 34th. There you go. At least I didn't slip on a used condom. Yeah, that was like the worst story that I heard ever about schoolies. A lot of the other stories were just like, yeah, we got really high, and then some people had panic attacks. And I was like, yeah, that sounds about right, but, like, where were you doing it? And they were like, we were on a balcony. And I'm like, that seems like a terrible place to have a panic attack whilst you're high as a kite. Because what if your friend just, like, jumps off after a stone-induced panic attack? But luckily people didn't do that. Yeah, there's just a lot of, like, rampant alcoholism, sex, and tomfoolery, I guess. Drugs. Which, you know, I'm glad didn't have to worry about. You have to prepare weeks for that nonsense? Yeah, I mean, I think in Australia, like, the Gold Coast basically just, like, braces itself. And then the worst part is, you have the schoolies, which is referring to the students who graduate and then go to schoolies, but then you have the Toolies, and the Toolies are people who haven't graduated, they're just older, and they go to schoolies to like, hook up with high schoolers, and it's like, you're 21, why are you at schoolies? Yeah, there's that stuff as well. I guess 21 isn't the worst, but if you're like 30, right? If you're 30, why are you going to schoolies? But yeah. Ooh. Hags just want to have fun. Yeah, maybe not at the thing which has a lot of 17-year-old kids just off their faces going, yay! What's the age of consent?